Boom.
What up, ladies and gents? It is Tuesday, and we are ready to rock this thing. Ever wonder how you can just bottle up that word of mouth advertising? Well, we call them testimonials. We're going to talk about that today, so here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
The Business Bros Podcast was created for you. Learn from the business professionals who come to share their stories. Find out what's working in business and social media, what's hot and what's not, straight from the mouths of successful entrepreneurs out there doing the real work. And now, welcome to another episode of
Business Bros. Yeah, buddy. All right, ladies and gents. It is that time. We had a last minute cancellation, so the show must go on. The only time we actually don't do a show was yesterday, which is a Monday. First Monday of every month, we close off so we don't make a $3,000 mistake because we've done that before in the past. Basically,
I've done that before in the past.
Yeah, and I'm the other half of that problem, right? I didn't actually charge anybody. So we close it off on Mondays to make sure that we process everything that we need to process at the beginning of the month, and therefore we didn't have a show yesterday. But other than that, even if we have a cancellation, the show must go on. So Today we're going to be talking about the power of a video testimonial. If you guys are in business, I mean, you already know. Here's the scenario, right?
You already know.
Here's the scenario. You're good at something. You decide that you're going to turn this thing that you're good at and you're going to turn it into a business. And somebody decides that that they feel that you are good at something. So they hire you. You go out, you assess the situation, you help the client through a particular problem, you solve their problem for them. They're completely satisfied with the job, right? And they pay you for it. And you're like, yes, this is what I love to do. Probably the most amazing feeling you can get is when that client that you provided a quality service for goes out and maybe he's hanging out at a party with their friends or hanging out with family, because we don't really do parties with friends these days, but still is hanging out with people on a Zoom maybe, right? And they hear somebody say, oh man, I need help with XYZ. And they perk up. They're like, oh, I just had the most amazing experience with this guy, and this is what happened, and these are all the great things that they did for me, and it was only this much, and it was totally worth my time. I 100% recommend this person, right? That is word of mouth marketing. That is what we want our customers to do all the time. Now, here's the problem with that. The problem is you can't force that person to get up and speak on your behalf. You can't put that person in a situation where they're only talking to prospective buyers of your particular product or service. That is a very like random thing, right? That's very random that they're sitting in a situation where they can think of or provide you as a reference to their friends and family. It's unique. But what if we could bottle that up, right? What if we could take that word of mouth marketing and stick that same type of energy in front of your clients that are actually looking for your product or service, or clients that maybe are on the fence about working with you? That's the power of a video testimonial. So we've been using that as real estate agents for quite some time. The testimonial is a big thing, right? We love that word of mouth marketing. That's why we do things like send out mailers, and that's why we do things like pick up the phone and talk to our older clients. That's why we send them bottles of wine or turkeys or Christmas cards or whatever it is. That's why we stay top of mind with them, because we want to make sure that when they fall into that particular situation, you're that agent they talk about. You're that insurance person they talk about. You're that caterer they talk about, whatever it is that you do. You want to stay top of mind for those things. But with the power of the internet and the power of social media, we have developed a way, well, it's not us developing, we're utilizing a way to kind of bottle that stuff up, right? And that is what a video testimonial does. Now, what you can do is ask your client for a video testimonial. And you can do it yourself, right? But we'll walk through some of the necessary things that you need so you can do your own word of mouth, your own testimonials, and then we'll show you what our package includes. But you want to make sure that you do that, right? So you have a great experience with the client. I'm gonna tell a story. Jonathan Fisher, the fearless agent, right? He was on our show twice, very early on when we were doing the podcast. He is now one of the top 1% producers in San Diego County for real estate agents. The dude is crushing it. And one of the things I learned from him that he does that's a little bit different is he doesn't ask for a referral or any recommendations through the transaction. What he said, which was really interesting, he's like, look, when you're working with a client, they don't want to share you, their professional, with other people until they're done with the deal. Right? They don't want to share your time and your necessities and whatever it is that you're providing for them. They want to hog all those resources for themselves so that they get all the attention that they need, which makes sense. But what he did was after the deal closed, he would take them out for dinner. Right. And in this dinner, this is where you have drinks and you're celebrating the closing and you're having a good time. And at that point, that's when he asks for that business. Right. And what makes Jonathan super successful, if you ever talk to him, you look him up on Instagram at The Fearless Agent. And what really makes him successful is some of these things that he's implemented to keep himself top of mind. He doesn't do video testimonials as much, but what he does is he takes pictures of all his closing clients, right? He promotes that closing. He has a newsletter that highlights them that he sends out every single month. I know because I'm on that newsletter and I get it every single month, right? You get a piece of mail from him every single month. He's there in your face all the time. Not in a pushy way, but just that he shows up so that when you're thinking of a real estate agent that you need to work with, for example, when I get booked and I am looking for buyer's agents, he's one of the ones I go to. Why? Because he sends me a newsletter every month. So when
I'm your huckleberry.
Exactly. So when I think of using a real estate agent to help with my buyers, for example, because I just don't have time to work with a lot of buyers, who do I go out to? I reach out to Jonathan. Why? Because he keeps sending me stuff, right? Or there's also the other side. Gabe Mendez is always on Instagram posting stuff. I see him all the time. Or Miss South Bay is always posting stuff, right? Keep yourself top of mind, and then your clients might think of you when they think of real estate or insurance or whatever it is that you do. So
you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah, that's exactly right. There is a chance. So let's get into how do I do this video testimonial, right? Because it's one thing to just say, can I do a quick video for you? And maybe you can tell me a little bit about your experience. You can do that. And there's going to be some of your clients who might be able to handle doing that sort of video. And it might come out okay, right? But really what you're looking for is a nice process to do this. So the way we do things, by the way, I'm gonna share with you guys the way we process our package. So we have a couple different packages depending on how many testimonial videos you want. We do 1 testimonial video, we can do 6 testimonial videos, or we can do 10, right? And what we do is very simple. I give you an email template for you to reach out to the particular client that you're looking for, that you want to have a video testimonial for. You send them this email, and it introduces us as well, or introduces me. And basically you're saying, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Client, I would really be honored if you could do me the favor and do this video testimonial for me. It's going to be on my website. It's going to be on my Instagram, wherever it is that you're going to place it. Right. And so that email that you send out has me CC'd in it as an introduction that Hernan's going to be taking care of the video testimonials. And then we take it from there. So once you've made the introduction and the client says, yes, this is something that we want to do, that's where we take over. And I reach out, I reply back and I send them a booking link. We let them book up, at whatever time they need to. And really, I'm only talking to them. I tell them it's going to take no more than 15 minutes. But the truth of the matter is, it's only going to be like a 5-minute phone call or a 5-minute video call, just like this. I put them full screen on my Zoom. I record the interview, and I have a couple questions that I have laid out that are going to be that. And thanks, Megan. And that we're going to ask for. And it's basically asking a storyline of what we want to hear with your experience. And Megan was a guest on the show, and she's going to be doing a video testimonial package with us very soon. She also, how did she hear about us? Well, we did a video testimonial package for Steve Haru from Victory Selling, and she was one of the people who was giving a testimonial. Right. And so she's giving the testimonial. She loved the experience. She's in business herself. She needs to gather testimonials. And we spoke yesterday in a Zoom meeting that we were in. And that's the way it's going to roll. Right. Every testimonial leads to referrals and repeat business. This is what we want from this, from the testimonial package for you guys. So I have a series of questions that I ask. And basically what I want to know is what was their experience like working with you? First, who are they? Right. So here's question number 1. Who are they? Right. what is their name? What is it that these people do? Because you want to make sure that when people are listening to a testimonial video, they're connecting with the person who's giving the testimonial. Otherwise, it sounds like if I had my mom tell you how awesome I was, it's my mom, right? She's always going to think I'm awesome, hopefully, right? But if it's somebody that's at random that is in a similar industry and they're telling you, hey, my name is blah, 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 and I work for, I don't know, I'm going to use Eric, right? I work for Cutco Knives, and I was working with Megan to franchise my business, right? Like that is that is somebody in a third party sense that has nothing to do with what it is that you do, but they're telling you, the viewer, an experience that they had with that professional, right? So first and foremost, what is their name? What do they do? That's question number one. Then after that, it's how did you meet this professional, right? How did you guys even get together? Did you meet on a Zoom call? Did you meet, randomly? He met you at Starbucks. We were on a break. Thanks, Megan. Right, and Jason's on here too. What up, Jason? All right, and we got to make sure we do shout outs every time there's a comment. So you leave a comment, ask a question. If you guys have any questions as we're moving along through these testimonials, let me know because I'd love to answer those as well. All right, so how did you hear about this professional, right? Let's say I'm working with James as the insurance guy. James and I met when he was born. I know that's not a good story, but let's use a different example. So, James and I met through his Polyam podcast. I was a guest on his Polyam podcast. He gave me an interview. I had a great time, and I decided to work with him on the insurance side, right? That is how we met. Because it might be something similar. If James is doing podcasts every single day, or if you're out there prospecting and door knocking every single day, then other people who you've talked to when you're doing similar prospecting are going to have a similar experience. They're going to think, dude, that's how I met him. Yeah, I remember that. That was a great experience. You want to make
Alex,
sure
we met him as the PR dude.
Alex is the PR dude. That's right. Actually, Alex, put the name of your podcast in there so I can put that out there too. Right. Okay. So how did you meet? Right. How did you meet? Who are they? First of all, what's your name? What do you do? And then how did you meet this professional? And then the next question I always ask is, what were you going through when you decided to hire this particular individual? Right. Because we're all going through something. There's a reason why we wanted to work with this particular individual. What was I going through? Dude, I was tired of paying rent. And I knew that home prices were increasing. I need a PR after hours. Yes, perfect. I knew it was. I didn't want to make it. I was gonna say the drink because every time I think PR after hours, I always see the martini glass. But I want to make sure I got it right. PR after hours. Thanks, Jason. All right. So
why did you meet?
What were you going through? What were you going through? Right. So we're all going through something. If I was going through an example, right. So I'm tired of paying rent. I know house prices are going up. I've been meaning to buy a place, but you know what? My landlord is finally about to sell this particular home, and I needed to find a spot. So that's when I decided I was going to work with this particular individual, right? That's when I was going to work with Gabe, or that's when I was going to work with Jonathan, or that's when I was going to work with whoever the professional is. So now we've asked for their name. We've asked for what they do. We've made that connection, right? We've asked about how they met this particular individual. And now we're going through the drama. What is it that they were going through? The story is what needs to be told here. Not that you're awesome and you're incredible and you're amazing. That's great too. We'll get to that. But you got to make sure that the people who are watching your testimonial are connecting with the same type of customer that you're looking, your ideal avatar, right? The people, when you really niche down and figure out who it is that you're going after in your market, you got to make sure that you speak to those people in your market. A video testimonial allows you to speak to that same demographic who's meeting you in the same way, who's struggling with the same problem, who's looking for the same solution through somebody else's experience.
I know what it's like to lose.
Oh, I love those new video clips. Yes. All right. So we've introduced the person, name and what they and who they are, right? We've talked about how they met the individual. We talked a little bit about what the problem they were going through. Now we're in it. Now we've decided to hire this professional. So the next question I ask is, what was one of the biggest breakthroughs you've had while working with this individual, right? So you've decided to hire somebody, and the worst thing that can happen when you hire somebody is that all of a sudden you pay them something and they disappear. They fall off the face of the earth, or you can no longer get in contact with them, right? We all seen those bad reviews on Yelp or whatever where things go wrong.
Losers always whine about their best.
Yeah, and I wish I could say the rest of that one. Right? So when you start talking about what was the biggest breakthrough, all of a sudden it's like, that when the going gets tough, that this professional that you're hiring is going to go to that next level for you, is gonna go to bat, right? So when it was a house, maybe it's like, we put in offer after offer after offer, and this real estate agent helped me find a place, get an escrow, and go through the deal. Or I was really stressed out about buying a Harley because I didn't know if it was insurable, and James really helped me out to get that insurance done. Or I had a DUI on my record and I wasn't sure if I was even insurable anymore, but James found a way, right? Or all these different things. Everybody who has a problem, your ideal avatar has a problem. Now we're showing that biggest breakthrough, because if your ideal customer, somebody else who's listening on the other side, again, is going through the same problem, they want to know that you have the answer and the solution. And it's better if somebody else is telling it to you. So again, I'm going to recap again. So we got, name, who is, what's your name, and what do you do, right? Then it's, how did you meet this particular professional? What were you going through when you decided to hire them? Now you've hired them. What was the biggest breakthrough you've had? Right. So those are the things that we've covered so far. Ham, I need a breather real quick. What do you think of what we've been doing so far?
I love it, dude. It's everything that we're talking about. Everything that we're doing is getting us to tell the story. And that's really what it's about, because we all know that facts tell and stories sell. So what we're doing is creating a format for the storyline to come through. It's, what were you going through? How did you meet this person? And what's your experience so far? And I really love the idea of the breakthrough, because that's where like the rubber hits the road, right? That's where the rubber really meets the road, where we're talking about not just, did they do what you needed them to do, but like, what was the biggest takeaway? What was the best thing that could have happened that maybe you didn't even expect?
Yeah, because that's the thing, right? You always have an expectation of what's going to happen, and then reality kind of sets in, right? It's not always the same thing, but if you have similar experiences and you can show other people the expectation of what happens when they work with you, then it's all clear, right? It's all gravy.
It goes. It goes. All
right. Next question you can ask. So, I bounced a couple here. So there's one, this question I like to ask just because you never know what the story could bring. But it's, how'd you hear about them? Sometimes it's quickly like a little Facebook thing. But it's a good question to ask. Another one that I like to ask is, what would you say to someone who is looking to work with whoever the client is, right? So now it's this person who already did business with you, literally referring you to whoever's watching, right? And this is an important part. So what would you say to someone who's looking to hire? Like, they're going to go back to their own experience. Like, man, I wish I would have found you earlier. Like, this person is 100% dependable. They pick up the phone whenever you call, right? All these different things, qualities and attributes that are things that you take for granted because you do them normally. You want to have that high customer service. That's what you provide. You already do that, right? But not everybody knows those little nuances that make a difference. That's the difference between going with this professional or this professional. The problem is they didn't know that you did those things. You assume they know because it's how you operate. That's just your customer service quality, right? That's what you do. Mm-hmm. But if somebody else is saying that you do that well, now that gives validity to what it is that you're saying. Like,
60% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah. All right. I provide quality service. Great. Everybody says that. But if my client says how good a service I was, or how good a quality of service we have,
it's everybody says, yeah, we provide good quality service. Everybody says that, but it's the story that your customer tells. It's not just, yeah, they did a really good job. It's, oh, no. They came in here and they changed my business in this way. They took the time and you know, got to know me, and they spent the time to learn what I was about, and, you know, whatever the case might be. I mean, we're talking about, I'm thinking of like insurance. They really got to know my business. They really took the time to understand what my different risks were, and they talked to me and they gave me the education. They told me about all these different policies that could protect me from things that I didn't even think about, right? That's more than just they did a good job and provided excellent service.
Exactly.
That's the story.
That's huge. That makes a difference in when people trust you and what you can provide. All right, I got basically two more things. One is like my absolute top dog secret that gets me the best quality, but this one right here, and this is the next one. So I asked them to come up. I asked the client, tell me 3 words that best describe this professional. Right. So tell me 3 words that best describe James.
You're not the only one cursed with knowledge.
That's right.
Cursed with knowledge.
Cursed with knowledge. So, you know, what are 3 words that best describe James as your insurance agent? All right. Oh, well, he was reliable. He explained everything. So he was knowledgeable. And
I think he's wonderful.
Wonderful. There you go. I love that one. Right. So those are 3 things. Right. And why do I ask them like this? Because at the end, when I go back and we have to edit this, you know, it ends up being like a 5 to 7 minute clip. These are words that we can easily put into this editing that tells the viewer exactly, you know, qualities or traits that way you are. And so this is a nice little thing. So they're thinking about him and, you know, oh man, you know what? He was, and as they're thinking about these words, right, as they're sitting there thinking about what qualities they want to tell you, what do they say? Usually they come up with more stories, right? Oh, well, you know what? They're really, you know, it was amazing. I interviewed some clients for a real estate agent. You know what? She was very dependable because, you know what? Every time I wanted to see a house and I was far away, she would go virtually and and show it to us, right? Now that's extra story about the client, right? An extra story about the professional that I didn't necessarily ask for, but because I'm asking them to describe, you know, 3 words that best describe that professional, they're giving me more stuff that I can use. It's just, okay. So here's the thing about when you're recording a testimonial, don't let the client just kind of say whatever they want to say. You have to guide them. And that's the purpose of having these different questions that I have lined up. I'm guiding them through the history of the transaction. I'm asking for specific stories without saying, hey, can you tell me a story that was good about, you know, this professional? It doesn't work that way, right? We're guiding them where we want them to go so that when we edit this, it's one complete story, right? Okay, so those are the 3 qualities. Here's my last one, and this is one that I kind of did on accident the very first time I did it, but I've been using it ever since, right? This is the secret sauce. Ooh. This is, to me, the one thing that makes our testimonials way better than a lot of the testimonials that you get from everywhere else, and it's this last question. So what I tell them after I'm done, I give them the at ease. So here's something, if any of you have ever been on a podcast as a guest, right? Or maybe you have a podcast and you have guests on your show. Before the show, the guest is a little nervous, maybe it's a little weird because you don't quite know them. After you do the show and the cameras go off, then all of a sudden it's a different comfort level. I wish oftentimes that I had a lot of the stuff that we talked about after the podcast, because there's some really good stuff that happens there. That happens with everybody. They're just like, oh, okay, we're done. So what I do on this testimonial video, just the little secret here, I don't stop recording. I just tell them, all right, cool, we're done. That's about it. I got one more thing, just kind of a little fun thing to ask you. Let's imagine that James is standing right here in front of you right now. What would you like to say to them? Right. And now it's a little bit different because the pressure's off. They're not trying to be perfect and give good responses anymore. They're done. They just look at the camera and they'll say exactly how they're feeling. And sometimes that's the best stuff that you pull for your testimonial videos. So it's like, James, thank you very much. I really appreciate all the help you've done. I couldn't have done it without you. You know, I'm going to tell all my friends about you because no one else provides the insurance the way you do. I wish I would have found you a lot earlier. Thanks for helping me out. Like, usually that is almost the entire testimonial that you need right there in that last question. But part of it is lowering their emotions, their guard, right? Letting their guard down so that they can just be free with themselves. So if you guys use those tips, right? If you guys use what we showed you today to do your own testimonials, more power to you. The other part is all the editing and stuff that goes afterwards. So if you just want to save yourself time, if you guys want to take that information that we learned, now you know how we get the process done. We'll do all the booking of the clients for you. We'll do all the editing for you. We'll do all the recording for you. We'll put it all together. And then one thing I did with my last client with Erin, she asked for a montage. So we did a little, instead of a 60-second testimonial at the end, we created one. She did 5 testimonials. She did the 6 package. Right. So she did 5 testimonials, and the last one was a nice little montage of all of her clients kind of talking about her. And it turned out really well. So I think I'm going to, push that forward for my other clients, because I think it's a really cool testimonial video. If you want examples of what our testimonials look like, and you want to know a little bit more about our packaging and our pricing, just go to www.businessbros.biz/testimonials. Or if you just go to businessbros.biz, there is a yellow button there that says custom testimonials, custom video testimonials. Click on that and you're going to see our packaging. You're going to see examples of the testimonials that we've done. You're going to see what other clients have been saying, and let's get those things done, right? Because that's really what it's down to. And remember, why are you doing this? What's the whole purpose of getting testimonials? Megan, you're on it. We're going to talk again soon, I know. What's the whole purpose? This is word of mouth advertising. You have now bottled up that friend of yours or that client of yours who spoke up at a party about you, and you've taken all the best parts. And now what do you do with it? You share it with them on social media. Hey, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Check it out. This is what your testimonial video looked like. And you tag them, and guess what? Now their friends are going to see it on their social media pages when they see the video about you. Then,
That's good. One less thing.
now you take your testimonial videos, and you put them in your funnels, right? Now it's like, hey, are you thinking about working with me? This is what other people said about me. Boom. Now you have testimonials and people that it's not just written, right? Anybody can kind of write stuff and kind of put a name. You don't know how valid those testimonials are. You're hoping people have integrity and ethics, right? But you don't know. But when it's a video, now you know, right? You know that the other person on the other side of that video is telling you their experience, and we format it in a way that they can tell the story very well. Right. So use the power of word of mouth marketing in your favor. Get your video testimonials done, whether you do them yourself or you hire us to do it for you. We're here to help. Use that information on today's show. It was a plethora of nice little questions. Actually, it's like 6 or 7. And if you ask them correctly, it should only take you 5 to 7 minutes of your customer's time, your client's time. Because, right, mind you, their time is valuable, right? You're the professional. You do this all day long. They're not. They just want to get in, out, and on with life. So let's make it as easy as possible for them to do so. So again, how does it work? You just go to businessbros.biz/testimonials, decide on how many testimonials you want. You buy the package. We're going to get in contact with you, give you an email template so you can send out to your clients. As soon as they say yes, we take it from there. We'll do all the booking. We'll do all the recording. We'll do all the editing. We'll send you back all the deliverables, and you're ready to rock and roll. So what are you waiting for? Go to businessbros.biz/testimonials. Go to businessbros.biz for all the stuff that we do when it comes to creating content. And that's about it. Going to be a short one today by like a minute, unless you got something else you want to say, Ham.
Nah, nothing much. Just, go to the website. We got everything for you. We can do it all. And I love what you've done with it. The yellow buttons. It's everything right there. We got our whole menu listed. So, whatever it is that you need, if we're offering it, we can help you out. And if we don't offer it, we probably know someone who does, because this is episode 677. We've interviewed over 500 people now. We talked to a lot of different people offering a lot of different services. So if there's anything that you're looking for, we can definitely help you out.
Just shoot us an email. Hit me up on social media at Business Bros Pod. Let me know what you're looking for. I'll hook you up. I'll connect you with somebody who can definitely help you out. All right, ladies and gents, that's all we got for you guys today. We'll see you again mañana. Peace, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Business Bros Podcast. Are you looking to get more clients or to increase your income? Hernan, the business bro, can help you generate referrals through the power of podcasting. And James, the insurance bro with Pipeline Insurance, can help you effectively add insurance to your existing business. If you are ready to create wealth today and generational wealth for tomorrow, email businessbros@csfirst.com to schedule a free consultation, or join the Business Bros Network, www.businessbros.biz.